which is 14%. You are only putting 14% on development. That is what this statement tells. Where do we see the 30%?
Since we work on cash basis, during the year again, there was an accumulation of another pending due, Chair.
Show me where I can see the 30% spent on development in Meru.
Chair, in the financial statement, page 6. Page 6, column D, we have 3.8 billion.
So if you have 3.8,
yes,
and you've got 1.362 billion for development as other payments, why not classify it as an acquisition of asset? Because you already know how much out of the pending bills related to development. You cannot continue using this other payment line because it is abused by other counties. And the Treasury is going to tell us what the conversations they're having. You've got something here called budget reserves. What are budget reserves and other payments?
Budgetary reserve, Chair, is a cautionary amount reserved during budget to be used during supplementary.
What is it spent on?
Okay, during that time, it was budgeted under recurrent within the Directorate of Budget. It was spent on recurrent use of goods.
For what? What did it buy? Mandazi? Was it impressed?
No, Chair. Mostly public participation.
Is that where you should put expenditure on public participation?
Not really, Chair.
And how much was it?
It was 16 million.
16 million?
Yes.
What would stop us from reaching the conclusion that this is money that was taken from the county and shared out amongst county officers?
Not really, Chair, because we have specific payments that were made, not only public participation, many other various. I can't recall, but there's a schedule of what was paid.
And that expenditure cannot fit in the other accounts, that it can only be called other payments. Because other payments is what you call miscellaneous. So what is this miscellaneous 16 billion on budget reserves? You know, we need to be faithful to the manner in which we use public resources.
Yes.
It's not a small thing saying that you have 16 billion as a budget reserve put there. And then you just describe it as other payments and you think it is okay. Governor, 16 million can build for you how many ECD centers?
Thank you, Chair. 16 million can do 16 ECD centers.
And here we are using it as pocket money? We are using it as pocket money.
I don't think it's so, Chair, because he's trying to explain. Maybe needs some more time to explain to you.
His explanation is leading us to that conclusion, that it is being used as pocket money for supplementary budget approval.
Thank you, Chair, and that's why maybe he needs some assistance from the head of financing, maybe to assist him on 1, 2, 3.
I'm worried if the person who prepared the financial statement still needs assistance.
Chair, you know I'm not an accountant, but I'm getting more and more confused when I read these financial statements on page 3 of the Auditor General's report. I don't know if ONSO's revenue is a substantive issue, but it looks like from this document that Mwenda prepared, there was no ONSO's revenue for 2021-2022?
It is in the receipt of revenue.
It's a complexity that was introduced by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board,
yes,
where the on-source revenue was separate. But I think the point we must make here is we do not expect your administration to continue reporting other payments of such a material amount.
Honorable Chair and members, on this item, which actually is in the chart of accounts and has been there for quite some time, I wish to say that ideally, accounting units should confine themselves to the ambit of the vote, which is and also which should be at their arm's length. They should not go beyond that. Why the item others was put in the chart of account was to take care of any item that may have been omitted during the budgeting process, which may not then have been appropriated. So this was to assist the accounting unit take care of any item that may come to their to the attention that was not in the budget. But Chair, with the time, accounting units, including the county government, have continued to this item, and we discussed with the board, and they have suggested that they are going to remove that item because, Chair, if you look at now this issue of Meru, the 2 billion, if you look at the itemized list, you'll realize that the items that come under other, actually, those are voted provisions, and the expenditure ought to have been disclosed under the voted provisions. But that was not done. They lumped it under other. So, Chair and members, this item is going to be removed from the chart of accounts going forward, so that accounting units can now confine themselves to the ambit of their own votes within their arm's length. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Munywa. I think the long and short of it is that we are casting doubt on that expenditure of 2 billion, particularly the manner in which it was reported, and we are asking the Auditor General going forward to scrutinize any payment that is listed as other payments. But you must stop the habit of doing a budget for other payments. You will have seen there was even a budget for other payments. That is highly irregular, and I wonder how the Assembly would approve a budget where 20% is described as other payments. We have seen in some county executives, what goes there would be things that you did not anticipate. For example, if there is a KRA agency notice that you did not plan for, you can put it in there, but you cannot put public participation cost. You cannot put FIF. You cannot put what you're calling pending bills, because pending bills relate to assets, relates to goods, relates to services. So we expect greater vigilance from the people who prepare these financial statements. And Governor, you must always question why things are put as other payments, unless that then becomes your pocket money for other activities. So we'll ask the OAG to keep an eye on the matter, and I'll also ask the Senator for Tharaka Nithi to go on record.
This is Senator Mwenda Kataya Mofaya, member of this committee. And Chair, I'm happy that Meru County are part of my neighbors, and Tharaka Nithi and Meru County is just one county. Thank you.
You're welcome, Senator. OAG,
Chair, thank you, Chair. On the issue of other payment, I think we'll escalate the issue to the office so that we have a deeper understanding of how it's being done in the counties. Thank you, Chair.
Correct, thank you. Let's go to the basis of the qualified opinion. Auditor General will move very, very efficiently. I think the first issue you cited was lack of valuation and title deeds for land. Does the matter still remain outstanding?
Yes, it's still outstanding.
Okay.
Yes.
What specifically were you looking for? Title deeds for parcels of land owned by the county government of Meru.
Yeah, the issue was the title deeds, that is the ownership documents for the parcels of land in Meru.
So this is part of asset management.
And value of the assets, yes.
Okay, Governor, what is the difficulty in providing title deeds for your land holdings? Because I thought this was a very straightforward matter.
Chair, we concur with the audit observation that the county does not have ownership documents for various land parcels owned by the de facto local authorities and the devolved function. This is as a result of failure the ITGRG to complete handing over of assets and liabilities to the de facto local authority and the devolved function. However, the verification of the assets and liabilities were done and the reports prepared. However, the financial handing over has not been concluded, hence the county is not in a position to acquire the title deed. List of all the land parcels, including the location, is availed for audit review. See Annex 1, copy of the verification reports containing the various land parcels.
Auditor General, what do you make of that response?
The list is provided, but the value, I think the issue was valuation of the assets and some title deeds.
Governor, do you have an asset management policy?
I think I can be assisted by the Chief of the CEC Finance.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Currently, this matter is being addressed because we are moving into accrual accounting because initially...
Do you have an asset management policy?
Currently, we don't have.
So that's the beginning of your problems, because without a policy, then everything is done in chaos. You start with policy, then that determines how you manage your register. We understand the issue of IGRTC. We have been around. We know that IGRTC has taken forever. But your failing is in not having an asset management policy. National Treasury, haven't you provided a framework and guidelines for county governments on that?
Actually, we have given a guideline which was sent to the county government in 2019. It is upon now the county governments to look at our guideline, use it to come up with your own policy guideline. It should help you.
Chair, one would be interested to know, how do you audit your assets now that you don't have the county asset policy for the last, I think, since the inception of this revolution? Now that the control budget has just confirmed, I mean the treasurer has just confirmed that there was that policy which gave it to counties back in 2019 and we have not been able to formulate. What is the issue? Do you...
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair. What we have a fixed asset register that is updated. However, we don't have a policy, but the National Treasury closed in the May, April, and held a training or a seminar for all the accounting body, all the entities of the government, especially the county governments, so that they come up with a policy by the starting of this month, July,
and then have an asset and liability management unit which will be able to deal with these issues. Because one, we have been given a 3-year term for us to transition to the accrual. The first one is for us to have implemented or have attained all the movable assets which have been transferred to us. Then the next year will be to handle the immovable assets, which are the property, the lands, and the other items. So, Honorable Chair, we have a fixed asset register that is updated and well, but with historical cost. However, as we get to the accrual system of accounting, we'll have these parcels of land with their valuations, with their titles, and all the documentation. We have been given a template that is well incorporating almost every information that is required. So as we move on, Honorable Chair, this matter will have been addressed because we have been given...
Yeah, we don't deal with intention, we deal with action. And that's what the audit is all about. You have no asset management policy. Accrual basis will provide a different way of accounting for your assets. We are not there yet, though we should be there in the next financial year. You must do what you must do now. You don't say that you're not going to put a fence in your home because you plan to hire a watchman. Because thieves will steal now. An asset management policy is something that is easy to do, easy to have. Already the framework is there. And even if you are going into the next step of accounting, you cannot say you're not going to do it because there is an intention. Governor, you must do what you must do with what you have now. The migration to accrual, and I want you governors to take this matter seriously. It's not a joke. There are 3 significant things that have not happened. Number 1, there is a steering committee that should be gazetted. CEC, has that steering committee been gazetted?
I've appointed but not gazetted. I will do that in the course of the...
It is not for you to appoint the CEC. It is a national steering committee. There's supposed to be a national steering committee to manage that transition from cash to accrual. That has not been gazetted. There are the issues of assets. There are the issues of treatment of pending bills. Those are 3 very critical things which these accountants cannot just migrate to accrual overnight. And I don't hear the governors talk about it. I think governors are only concerned when money doesn't come. But when there are such significant issues that affect the manner in which you report, the COG is silent. You're the ones who should be pushing the national government, national treasury, to gazette the transition committee. Dr. Munywa, unless you have information that it has been gazetted.
Not really, Chair, but Chair, I wanted to inform the CC through you that I have the draft policy which I can share with him, then they can customize that.
Yeah, so let's deal with what we have now. Your job is to ensure you've got an asset management policy. The challenge I'm throwing to the governor is when you go to the Council of Governors, the persons who chair your finance committee